Welcome back, Pokemon Trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and I'm here on location at Heroes Beacon in Uptown St. John, where we're going to have the pre-release for the Pokemon TCG BREAKpoint expansion. We're going to head inside. I'm going to give you a rundown of basically how a pre-release tournament goes, and we're going to check out a whole bunch of new cards from the new set. Let's get started. The Pokemon TCG pre-release tournament is a special event held at Pokemon Leagues throughout North America. At these events, players can pay an entry fee set by the league organizer and obtain 6 booster packs of the newest expansion coming out up to 2 weeks before the expansion officially goes on sale in North America. Once players have opened all of their packs, they then have 30 minutes to construct a 40-card deck comprised of just those new cards, along with any basic energy cards they may require, which will be provided by the league organizer. While the normal rules of deck construction state that a deck may not contain any more than 4 copies of any particular card, that rule doesn't apply to decks constructed during a pre-release tournament. That means, if you happen to pull 5 or more cards with the same name out of those booster packs, you can include as many of them as you like in your custom deck. The tournament then gets underway with each player testing their newly constructed decks against one another. The matches are shorter than in a regular tournament, with only 4 prize cards per match and a shorter time limit.
So Chaz, it looks like I'm just getting destroyed by a ho-ho.
Well, it certainly looks that way there, Wally.
Yeah.
Got any plans in mind?
No.
Well, Asper's about to see some things, I think.
A participation prize is awarded to all players who complete the full tournament, and that prize is an additional 2 booster packs of the latest expansion. A special promo card is also provided to all participants, which is obtainable only from these pre-release tournaments. Something important to note regarding pre-release tournaments is that, after the tournament concludes, the usual rules of deck construction apply to this particular expansion, meaning that these cards are not permitted to be used in play Pokemon events until 3 weeks after the date that this expansion goes on sale. So basically about 5 weeks from the date of this pre-release tournament. After that, you're free to use these cards and include them in your custom decks however you'd like.
And now we're going to sit down with some of the players today and talk about some of the new cards they got. Tim, do you want to show us some of the cards that you got today?
Yeah, sure. I start with the basic promo card we got here. We got the Treevan, and it goes with the Suntramp. That kind of helped me out a lot today in the duels, because everyone's got these EXs, and they're all basic Pokemon, so it adds an extra colors to them. One thing that did irritate me a little bit, though, is I got the Breakthrough, I've got the Luxray, and I've got the Luxario, but I didn't get any Shinxes, so I couldn't actually put that in my deck today.
That's the luck of the draw with the pre-release boosters.
So I had to get, I put together a Psychic/Water deck. I also got this Geoslash. Geoslash is pretty cool.
It's interesting now that's the first time we've had a Psychic type Aegislash, because they've all been Metal type until now.
Oh, really? Well, that's good for me, because I'm building a Psychic Dark deck at home.
Excellent.
The Slowbro is pretty interesting, too.
I saw that attack earlier today. And
yeah, the Walk-Off Homer, you can use this attack when you only have 1 prize card left, and you just win the game.
Yep.
Never had a chance to use it.
No. I can imagine it'd be hard, because you have to get like 5 prizes up until that point.
And then I actually got the Seismitoad. I got 3 of them going. That actually helped me out a bit in the game today.
Okay.
But other than that, I almost had them on one of my matches, but someone got the Pokémon-EX out. Just completely destroyed that combo. Then we got this Ferrothorn. This Ferrothorn's not too bad. It's a rare card. It does 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon for each colorless on that Pokemon's retreat cost.
That's not bad, actually, yeah.
So you combine that with the Geoslash, because it can double the damage counter on every Pokemon.
Oh, that's really good, yeah, just maxing out the damage on this thing.
And then I got this Garbodor. I almost had a chance to use him, but he was hiding in my prize cards. So.
Oh, yeah. And it has the ability reprinted, I believe. If this Pokemon has a tool attached to it, each Pokemon in play, in hand, and in the discard pile have no abilities.
Yeah.
So that was from one of the black and white sets. They had that ability, and now it's back.
So that counts for yours and your opponent's abilities too.
Yep,
so
every other ability.
That can completely destroy your own deck if you're not careful.
It can. You want to make a deck based around just that one ability and nothing else if you can help it.
And then we got the Flabébé and the Fortress. These are the League promo cards there.
Yeah, nice and foil with the Pokemon League icon on there.
There we go. Now I can open these packs, see if I get anything good in them.
Exactly, so the end of the pre-release tournament, everyone that completes it gets 2 additional booster packs of the current set. You can get any awesome stuff out of these.
Alright, so we got a Glameow, Spritzee. There's my Shinx.
I finally got a Shinx.
Of course. Drowsy. I got another Seismitoad. And
Palpitoad, too.
Yeah, well, I got another Seismitoad.
And one final pack for the BREAKpoint expansion pre-release. Fingers crossed, everybody.
We can recommend it very strongly.
Let's see, we got Pucham. We got Rare Tuno. We got another
Ferrothorn.
Sudowoodo. And he, nothing too crazy.
No.
But
So of all the cards you've collected today, which are your favorites, would you say, do you think?
my favorite. Well, let's see. Got me in this pile. I'd say this. I do like the Trevenant. The promo card.
Promo Trevenant.
But I think at GS once I get this going, I think I'll like it better. I just haven't had a chance to use it.
Okay.
I'm going to try to put this in my main deck.
So Painful Sword, that's the one you're talking about. Double
Yeah.
the number of damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. That is a Painful Sword, definitely.
And then the Megaton Slash, 100 damage, plus 10 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon.
Not bad at all either. Just kind of cleaves through the active one and throw some damage to the bench.
And if you have something that does damage to the bench, right, you can make it even more painful.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely some good cards today.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have fun today?
Of course it is.
Excellent. You gonna come back for the next pre-release?
I'm going to try.
Sounds good. We'll see you then. All right. So let's take a look at the cards you got today here.
I got Emboar-EX.
Emboar-EX, definitely some power there.
I got Manaphy-EX.
Now, I looked at this on the channel a while ago. It's really cool that it provides free retreat for any of your Pokemon with water energy, but also it heals your team if it uses its attack. Does 60 damage with Mineral Pump and heal 30 from all of your benched Pokemon, so it's definitely a good card.
And BREAKpoint.
The Break Golduck, and that allows you to move energy around, which is pretty cool. You can actually combine that with the Manaphy, have your Golduck move a water energy to your active Pokemon, and then retreat for free. So definitely some water cards here. Definitely you got a good Emboar as well. Of these three, which one do you like the best?
Probably Emboar. He
Emboar,
does
yeah.
most damage.
He's the most powerful, heaviest hitter that you got of the special cards. So did you enjoy the pre-release today?
Yes.
Awesome. Looking forward to the next one? Sounds good. We'll see you there. Alright, so we're going to take a look at some of the cards you got today.
So, I didn't really pull amazing, but I did get Gyarados-EX,
Not
which
bad.
was pretty cool. These are the black and white ones because I tried to trade mine, but I did get 2 max potions.
Okay.
Never used these once.
No? So they are reprinted in the new set though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they get a full heal for your Pokemon, then you discard all energy attached to them.
Other things that were like MVPs were Slowbro and Staryu.
The old smack attack.
I just needed them for quick attacks, like something that didn't take too long to charge up.
Yeah, Staryu's good too for like 1 water energy, it does 20, which isn't bad for like a non-EX basic.
Yeah. And Sigilif. This was also really good in one of my games, this Sigilif, just because he couldn't really attack or else his Pokemon would be knocked out because of Reflective Shield.
And what does that do again?
Basically, for 1 energy, you use it, and then during your opponent's next turn, if Sigilif takes any damage, your opponent's Pokemon take 5 damage counters.
Okay, so a nice little bit of a recoil, almost like a one of those new bursting balloons.
Yep. Didn't pull anything really like that. I was going to use this Slowbro.
With the walk-off homer.
Yeah, walk-off homer. It's just no.
I like the sound of this card. Basically, for 3 colorless energy, it says if you have 1 prize remaining, you win the game. So you got to get your knockouts to that point to get those 5 prizes. But if there's 1 left, even if the opponent is set up with a max bench full of EXs fully charged, Slowbro can just walk off homer and win the game for you.
I had the promo Trevenant, and it had some kind of ability. Can't remember the name, but it won me one of my games because, well, Gyarados is weak to electricity, and the guy had an Electivire, and he couldn't use the attack that did 90 because he didn't have all the energies he needed.
Right, because the Trevenant requires 1 additional colorless energy for your opponent's basic Pokemon to actually attack.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I pulled, and that's pretty much how I used it. I went 2-1 today.
Okay, not bad. Good record. Definitely you're on the winning side of things. Did you have any particular favorite cards that you got today?
Gyarados is pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. Is that the only EX that you got?
Yep.
Okay, but it's definitely a powerful EX to pull.
Yeah.
So did you have fun today?
I had a lot of fun.
Excellent. Hope we'll see you back here for the next pre-release. So now we're going to open up my copies of the BREAKpoint expansion. I actually got 8 packs we're going to open up, starting with checking out the pack art. So here we see the Mega Shiny Gyarados, which is pretty awesome. Nice and red Gyarados, which no one's ever seen before, I'm sure. Mega Scizor is one of the Mega Evolutions as well in this set, right there. We have a Luxray Break. Definitely going to be some power, and the Greninja Break. We've taken a look at this before. I'm hoping to find this with that giant water shuriken. So we're going to start opening up. We'll go with the Luxray break first of all. So since these code cards are currently not redeemable yet in TCG Online, what I'm going to do is hang on to these for a later date, and I'll do a big giveaway for everybody on the channel to try and hand out the code cards. So I'm going to take this one to the side. There we go. And let's take a look at which cards I get out of my first BREAKpoint expansion. So, leading off the commons, we have a Seedot, a Shelder, Chikorita, Froakie, and Clefairy. That's an interesting art for Clefairy. Seems like it used a teeter dance on itself. Although it might be the Hypno that did it, actually. Anyways, the uncommons, we start with a Durant. Mountain Munch does 10 and discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Scrape Down. If this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, discard the top 4 cards of your opponent's deck. So this is all about discarding your opponent's cards. Could be definitely useful. The last uncommon, second uncommon, Electivire does a basic Knuckle Punch for 30, Electro Slug for 90. The last uncommon is a Max Potion. Now we saw this earlier. Heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. If you do, discard all energy attached to that Pokemon. Alright, the reverse foil card is going to be a Phantom with Ascension. Search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon. This counts as evolving this Pokemon, and then shuffle your deck afterwards. Definitely good to get your Trevenant into play, possibly the promo Trevenant that was given out today. Now the rare card shall be the Trevenant. Alright, with the Nervous Seed. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, the attacks of your opponent's basic Pokemon cost 1 colorless more, and Energy Press really works well with that ability. 70 plus. This attack does 10 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So pretty cool. I got both of these cards in the first pack. So that is pack number 1. Next we'll open the Mega Scizor and see what we get out of this pack. So again, the code card I'm going to hang to the side for a later date, and I'll announce that on the channel as we get closer to it. And the cards in this pack start with the commons of another Seedot. Make sure it focuses here. We have another Shelder. So far it's a repeat of the previous one. Exact repeat, Chikorita. A Froakie. And what was the last common? I forget. A Growlithe, actually. We didn't get that yet. Bite for 20 for 2 colorless. Uncommons begin with a Bayleaf. Can Body Slam and paralyze the opponent. And Vine Whip can do 30. Next we have a Max Elixir. So look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach a basic energy you find there to a basic Pokemon on your bench. Then shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Good for energy acceleration. A Purugly with a Slash and Nian Press for 40 plus. Flip a coin. If heads, this does 40 more damage. If tails, the opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. I always like attacks like that have an effect regardless of if you flip heads or tails. Definitely useful. Reverse foil card is going to be, well, it's not reverse foil, but it's Eradicate Break. 110 HP and Super Fang. Put damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon until its remaining HP is 10. That is really good. It gets around things that prevent damage being done. It just places damage counters. Definitely a good card to pull on pre-release day of BREAKpoint. And the rare card, if that's not rare enough, is going to be a Darkrai-EX. This was an awesome pack. So 180 HP. For 2 colorless, Dark Pulse does 20, plus 20 more damage for each darkness energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Dark Head, for a darkness and 2 colorless, 80 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is asleep, this does 80 more damage. Definitely a good pack to have opened. A Break and an EX all in one. Alright, on to pack number 3. We'll look at the Mega Gyarados. Shiny Mega Gyarados. I have to keep stressing the shiny part. And if I can actually get a grip on this one, there we go. So code card, secret away to the side. Interestingly enough, there's a different design on this code card. It's letting you get 10 cards, okay. Alright, so let's take a look at pack number 3. So you got some pretty good luck with that second pack. I wonder if we're going to hold out the luck for a little bit. We have a Pharaoh Seed. Harden, so during your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon would be damaged by an attack, prevent that attack's damage done to this Pokemon if that damage is 60 or less. Definitely good to stall things out and try and get some things powered up on your bench, or power the Pharaoh Seed for possible evolution. Next we have a Blitzel. Reckless Charge does 20 for 1 energy, but it does 10 to itself. Another Shelder, a different Shelder this time. Razor Shell does 10, and flip a coin. If heads, 10 more damage. A Psyduck, a basic Stampede for 20. And other common is another Phantom, so it can descend into Trevenant. Next, we have the uncommon. So, a Splash Energy. This is pretty interesting. It provides water energy, can only attach to water Pokemon. If the water Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, put that Pokemon into your hand. Discard all cards attached to it. So, it's very good to keep you from losing your Pokemon if you need to keep them in, not in play, but in your hand. We have a Potion, basic healing of 30 damage from one of your Pokemon. The last uncommon is a Palpitoad. Frog Hop does 20 plus. Flip a coin if heads 20 more. Mudshot does 60. Now the reverse foil card is an Electivire with the Electro Slug attack. Rare card of the third pack is going to be a Hypno. It's got the Good Night Babies. That's an interesting... Oh, you see the Clefairy there from the other card. Good Night Babies. Once during your turn, before your attack, you may leave both active Pokemon asleep. And then Zen Headbutt does 50. This works well with that Darkrai-EX, which can do additional damage if the opponent's Pokemon is asleep. So probably good to pair that with a Darkness type deck. Alright, so the final of the first four is going to be the Greninja Break Pack. Let's tear into this and see if we had some lucky luck, I was going to say, with Break Evolution, possible Greninja. Alright, so the code card to the side. And if I can actually get a grip on these, there we go. So let's see what we get in pack number 4. Starting off with a Spritzy. Make sure it focuses, there we go. A Skrelp. It can hide. If you flip a coin and get heads, you can prevent all effects of attacks done to Skrelp next turn. And we have a Honedge, Stab, to put 1 damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. Ducklet, it can lunge for 20, but if you flip tails, it does nothing. And we have a Shinx. Roar, so you switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one of his or her benched Pokemon. They actually choose what they switch, though. And Flop can do a basic 10 damage. Uncommon cards, we have a Professor Sycamore, who has been reprinted. Discard your hand and draw 7 new cards. We have a Bursting Balloon. Now, we saw a lot of this played in today's pre-release tournament. You attach it as a tool card to one of your Pokemon. If this card is attached to one of your Pokemon, discard it at the end of your opponent's turn. So you only have 1 chance to use this, actually. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an opponent's attack, even if that Pokemon is knocked out, you put 6 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So, you only have 1 chance to use this. I think I didn't actually read this right. I thought it stayed attached permanently, but nope, you lose it at the end of your opponent's next turn. So you need to know when to play that. So the other uncommon is going to be a Luxio. Bite for 20 and Thunderfang for 30, and on coin flip of heads, the opponent's active Pokemon is paralyzed. The reverse foil card is going to be Suicune with Wind Charm ability. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks except damage done to each of your Pokemon. Not bad, and existing effects are not removed. Aurora Beam for 3 water energy does 110 damage. Pretty powerful and a decent ability in a Suicune. The rare card of this pack shall be a Lilligant with Boo-hoo for 20. If your opponent attaches an energy card from his or her hand to the defending Pokemon during his or her next turn, that Pokemon will be asleep. So pretty interesting to slow your opponent's energy acceleration down. Leaf Slice does 30 times. Flip 2 coins, 30 damage times the number of heads. I like the idea of the Boo-hoo attack, though. Could work pretty well with that Darkrai-EX also. Alright, so we're on to 4 more packs. We got all Mega Evolution art on these ones. Let's start with a Mega Scizor. I wonder if we'll actually pull a Mega Scizor out of one of these packs. We'll have to wait and see. So the code card to the side. And let's see which cards come out of this pack. Starting off with the commons once again. We have a Gibble with, for 1 energy, never enough. Discard a card from your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. And we have Seedot. Another Chikorita. It's interesting it's looking through a portal at Fennekin. I wonder what's the deal there. Anyways, Corsola. Spike Cannon, flip 2 coins. 30 damage times the number of heads. And then Power Gem does a basic 50. And here we have a Furfrou. You can collect to draw a card. And Tight Jaw does 30. And on a coin flip of heads, paralyze the opponent. I believe we're at the uncommons now, starting with a Puzzle of Time. Oh, it's another card that has multiple effects. You may play 2 Puzzle of Time cards at once. If you played 1 card, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. If you played 2 cards, put 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand. Interesting. You want to try to get these 2 items in hand and play 1 and get the ability, or play 2 and get this one. So it's going to be interesting how this works out. We also have an Aromatisse with a Dizzying Cologne. 20 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX, it does 40 more damage, so 60. Fairy Wind does a basic 40 damage. And we also have a Gyarados Spirit Link. We know what these do. You're going to not end your turn if you Mega Evolve your Gyarados-EX into Mega Gyarados-EX. Reverse foil card is going to be a Stantler. Mystifying Horns. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. And Big Charge does 30 plus. If you have any Mega Evolution Pokemon on your bench, this does 50 more damage. So you want to Mega Evolve Pokemon and get Stantler a little bit more powered up. Rare card of this pack shall be a Golduck. Derail does 20, and discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Hydro Splash does 70 for no effect. It's just 70 damage straight up. Alright, so pack number 6 this is. It's going to be a Mega Gyarados art. And code card away to the side. And let's see what we get. Starting off with a Pancham with a Light Punch and a Confront. Hone Edge, we've seen this one already. Is it focused? It's good enough. I'll focus it in a second. Another Shanks. See if it zooms into focus. Just one sec. Manual focus here. There we go. And we also get another Spritzy with the Beat attack. And a Glameow. Act cute. Your opponent puts a card from his or her hand on the bottom of his or her deck. Interesting. And Scratch does 20. Now we have a Fighting Fury belt, which we've seen before in the news updates. The basic Pokemon this card is attached to gets plus 40 HP, and its attacks do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. We also have a Heatmor. Reinforced Flame is 20 plus. If this Pokemon has a tool attached, this does 20 more damage. Heat Blast does a basic 70. Last uncommon is going to be a Dunsparce. You can call for family to search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it on your bench, or you can ram for 20. Reverse foil card shall be, a Golduck break. Awesome, that's our second break today. It's got the Hyper Transfer ability. As often as you like during your turn, before your attack, you may move a basic energy from one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon. Definitely a good card to get. I'm considering making a Golduck and Raticate deck all of a sudden. And the rare card is going to be a Slowking. So, Royal Flash ability. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin. If heads, move an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their bench Pokemon, definitely slowing down their strategies. And Psych Up does 40. During your next turn, this attack does 40 more. So, definitely a good water deck there. A rare Slowking and a Golduck break. The 7th pack with the Mega Scizor art. Let's see which cards we happen to get out of this one. First off, of course, if I can tear this a little bit more, get the code card to the side. And here we go. We start with the commons of a Psyduck, an Esper. Now, people were talking about the art for this Esper. I don't see a problem with it, do you? I think it looks fine. And we have a Growlithe again, a Shelder, and a Gibble. Never enough. You can never have enough Gibble. Uncommon, start with another Durant. Get rid of some opponent's cards. Luxio once again. A Kricketune, so Screech does, during your next turn, any damage done to the defending Pokemon by attacks is increased by 60. That's very powerful. Slash does 40. Reverse foil card is a Corsola, which we've already seen. And the rare card is going to be a Full Art Ho-Oh-EX. Very nice. It's a colorless Pokemon. Purifying Fire. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has any basic fire energy attached to it, you may heal 50 damage from it. Definitely good. It takes 3 different types of energy to attack, though. Grass, Water, and Lightning. Elemental Feather does 130, and this attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Definitely, I'm getting some good luck with these packs today. Got some full art. We got the Break Evolutions and EX. Well, two EXs now. Let's see what the last pack featuring Mega Shiny Gyarados will give to us. Alright, so let's get the code card to the side, and the final pack opening has begun. Starting with the commons, once again, we have a Pharaoh Seed, a Trubbish with Acid Spray, 10 damage and flip a coin. If heads, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. We have an Electabuzz, first one we've gotten so far, with a Knuckle Punch, a Froakie once more, and a Rattata. Dangerous Suspicion. Draw a card, and then switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. Next, we have the uncommons of Bayleaf, which we've seen already. A Sudowoodo with Watch and Learn. Now, I like the sound of this. If your opponent's Pokemon used an attack during his or her last turn, use it as this attack. You don't need the energy required to use it. You just basically attach a fighting and a colorless. You can do any attack they used last turn. Definitely a lot of interesting things can happen with this. I'm looking forward to putting together a TCG online deck featuring Pseudo-Widow. And the other uncommon, we have a Mawile. Tight Jaw does 10, and Flip a Coin. If heads, the opponent is paralyzed. Cavernous Chomp does 50. All colorless energy too, which is too bad. The reverse foil card is a Luxio, as we've seen already with the Bite and Thunderfang. The final card, the last rare, is going to be a Drapion. Poison Claws does 70, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned, no coin flip, and Heavy Impact does 130. Definitely got some good cards today. I'm going to root through the deck here, or the pile, get to the Full Art Ho-Oh-EX. Definitely one of the best pulls I've had in this current set of the Breakpoint, until I get some more cards, of course. So I'm quite happy with what I got, and that's just awesome.
So this brings our pre-release coverage to a close for the Breakpoint expansion. If you're interested in attending a pre-release tournament, go on to Pokemon.com and look up the information and see if there's one going on at a location near you. It's pretty fun, it's pretty exciting. You get to check out a lot of new cards before they come out for sale on the shelves. So with that, I'm going to end off this video. Thank you for checking out this video, everybody, and I'll catch you next time.